Welcome, WIDU listeners. My name is Lamont Henson. I will be one of today's hosts. You're tuning in to Pwc Connections on We Do Radio. I am a community relations specialist with Fayetteville PwC, being joined by my co-host, Miss Sharon Carvin. What's going on, Sharon?
Good morning, Lamont. Again, my name is Sharon Carvin. I am one of the customer service supervisors here at PwC, and I'm looking forward to having an informative conversation this morning.
I like that. That's what we're going to do. We're going to have some conversation for the community this morning. A lot of things are taking place with Pwc Connections, with PwC, and we're going to get listeners connected best way we can. One of the things I want to definitely make everyone aware of is that we're getting ready to host our annual Power and Water Conservation Expo. Now, for those who may be familiar with the Expo, this is something that we have brought to the community, city of Fayetteville and Cumberland County for about 12 years now. So we're over a decade, but we're going to reformat it. We've tried to restructure it and right size it and take a look at some of the feedback that we've received from past patrons and see how we can improve it, perhaps. So typically, this has been something that we do on the fourth Friday of March, and we're going to do it on the fourth Friday of March again. So if you want to go ahead and tab down, it'll be March 27th. Unlike usual, where we have it downtown at Skyview on Hay, we're going to have it at the North Regional Public Library, which is located at 855 MacArthur Road. And we typically have it all day. It's been from like 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. And I believe when it first started, it was a 2-day event. So again, we're trying to right size it. This time it's going to be from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. So kind of like that prime time when people are hustling and bustling to get lunch. If you're a retiree, it's a good time to just stop by, completely free to the public. And unlike just doing it once a year, we're going to have it each quarter throughout the year. So the first one is going to be this March. We're going to do it again in June, then again in September, and then we're going to take a look at doing it again in December, and we're going to move it about different locations throughout the community. So this first one is going to be held at the North Regional Public Library. And unlike times before where we've kind of focused on all three services, hopefully everyone is aware that PwC provides electric, water, and wastewater to Cumberland County and the city of Fayetteville. We're going to focus it on one service at a time. Each one's going to have its own theme, and this first one is going to be focused on water quality. Water quality. PwC provides award-winning exceptional water service, and we want to talk about it. Allow people to come in, meet some of our staff from Water Resources, as well as be able to ask questions about your water service, things you may want to know. What do you think about that, Sharon?
I think it's great information that you're putting out there, Lamont. And so definitely for those who may not be able to make this one, or if you're able to make this one, put it on your calendar. Like he said, it's going to be quarterly. So, hey, we would love to see you there. Again, information that's going to be helpful to you. Not only to you, maybe to your church family, maybe to your family and friends or whatever. So definitely spread the word.
Yeah, and we're going to start with water. We know electric may be the more popular service or the one that we may even be more recognized for in the community. But if you don't know, water service is essential. You might not want to do without your Netflix, or you might want to come into the house and know that you're going to turn on that light switch and it's going to work, and all your appliances and things like that are going to work, and your refrigerator's still going to work so none of your food will spoil. But if we have a situation where water is unavailable, you got a whole different animal you got to deal with. You're dealing with public health. You're dealing with not being able to flush the toilet. You're dealing with not being able to take a shower. So some people don't really see water service as the more essential service other than electric.
Yeah, good thought, Lamont. Also, not only for us, but like you said, maybe for your animals too. So, we definitely, we love our pets as well. So definitely it's a vital part of our day-to-day need.
Yeah. So please, if you have the time, stop by again. It's going to be March 27th. So that's the fourth Friday of this month from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. completely free to the public. We're going to have conservation giveaways like shower timers, hose nozzles, the little washers that you can put on your hose just in case there's a leak. We're going to have staff there from our lift stations, from water resources. They're going to be able to talk about what they do on a day-to-day. There's going to be a display of the water cycle, a cool display. It's been made up by our guys. They constructed it on their own, so you can see how the water actually flows along and how it gets cleaned out from the treatment centers. You can learn more about our treatment centers. So many times people are only aware of the facility on 955 Old Wilmington Road, but there are facilities throughout the city, including wastewater and water treatment facilities. So we have 2 of each. Learn more about that, get a chance to talk to our staff. And we're having it at the public library, so it's an opportunity to get more exposure for the library as well. If you're not aware, there's several public libraries throughout Cumberland County, and we're going to start with the North Regional one that's close to Ramsey Street. We may actually do one at the main library downtown as well. We're looking at locations so we can spotlight different areas throughout the city. Sharon, you've been a part of the expo in the past. What has been your experience?
Yes, so just being able to help for our employees, team members to be able to highlight what they do on a day-to-day basis for our customers. So I know that interaction piece to highlight if it's customer service, whether it's because we're going to have some customer service team members there as well. But for on the water side, just being able to highlight what they do on a day-to-day basis to make sure that we do have safe drinking water.
Absolutely.
So I definitely think come out. I know you'll enjoy it. I know you'll get some good takeaways from it, along with getting some maybe some good freebies.
Freebies.
So, yeah.
Who doesn't like free stuff? I've heard the saying, if it's free, it's for me, and give me 3.
Yeah.
And we're right. That bumps us right into also talking about our annual water treatment changeover, which takes place each March. This is something that happens in accordance with state regulations. Is when we change our water treatment process, we actually remove ammonia from the treatment process for the whole month of March, allowing our opportunity to build some healthy algae so it can clean out. Is something that's required throughout the state, and PwC has been doing it annually. The information is available on our website. Please feel free to go to faypwc.com. This is something where it allows us, so with the water quality update, some things that you may notice. You may notice that there could be a lower water pressure in your area. The taste may be, a little different than what you're used to. There could be an odor. There could be a color change. There may even be bubbles. But please know that the water is absolutely safe. This is just part of the norm. If you don't feel comfortable or you have questions, you can still reach out to our customer service to get answers. That number is 910-483-1382. They will answer the questions to the best of your ability, but we just want to always remind people that this is happening. It is not a health risk. It may be some adjustments needed if you do have pets or animals of that nature, but we'll try to answer your questions as best as possible. Just know that this is part of the business, part of providing the high quality water that we do provide. And if you have any questions, we're here to answer them to the best of our ability. So you may also, if you're going throughout town, notice that some fire hydrants are open. That is part of the flushing process as well.
Okay, great information, Lamont. And for those who may do in-home dialysis and also persons with fish, I think for the most part, a lot of customers do know, hey, we do this the same time of the year. But again, PwC does, I feel, a great job with getting the word out. So just to highlight those 2 items as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
And starting back April 1, the process goes back to its normal, usual process. All right, we're bumping up against our first break. We're going to allow some sponsors to come over the airwaves. We want to thank all the listeners that are tuning in to Pwc Connections. This is Lamont and Sharon. We'll be right back.
Talking about guns with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey, we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, may I ask a few questions?
Yeah, of course.
Do you have any pets?
Yes, we have a dog.
Great. Do you have a pool outside?
Nope, just a big old backyard.
Nice. Another question. Are there any unlocked guns in the home?
Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, let's just talk about what we can bring for dessert.
Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council.
Bless the Lord. I'm Dr. Ann T. Newell, pastor of the Soul Harvest Apostolic Church, the church not just there in the community, but there for the community of Spring Lake, North Carolina. We're looking for more than a few good men and women to join the team. Iron sharpeneth iron. We may have what you need. You may have what we need. Catch the vision. Join the team. Join Wake Up.
God bless. This is Pastor McAllister, and we would love to be able to invite everyone to share tributes to our late Miss Sandy Cookman. We know many of you want to take time to pause to share with them. Therefore, what we're doing here at the WIDU radio station, we're opening up the phone lines starting on March the 9th through the 13th from 1 to 2 p.m., asking you to please call in, share some love, share a tribute to them. Again, Monday through Friday, March the 9th through the 13th from 1 to 2 p.m. Please call into the radio station 910-483-6111 or even stop by to share some love. They would love to hear from you. They want everybody to have an opportunity. So we are opening up the station and the phone lines starting Monday, March the 9th through the 13th, 1 to 2 p.m. Please call in, take a moment to share words of love, compliments, how you felt about this wonderful woman of God, and we know the family will appreciate it. God bless. Please share that word. Love you.
I'm Apostle Georgia Walker of New Hope Gospel Ministries Incorporated, 1059 Southern Avenue. You're listening to Wake Up.
Join us for the Apostle James A. McDonald Kentucky Derby Banquet happening Saturday, April 4th at 3 p.m. sharp at Faith Covenant Fellowship Worship Center, 742 East Russell Street in Fayetteville. Hosted by Apostle Roger Jenneret, featuring guest speaker Bishop T.J. Bethia, and special music by national recording artist Emmanuel Boykin and Company and evangelist Pamela Jackson Jenneret. Tickets are just $50. This event is proudly sponsored by Wiseman Mortuary, 431 Cumberland Street in Fayetteville, serving families with dignity and care. Call 910-22-5854 for details. Don't miss the Kentucky Derby Banquet.
This is Pastor Neil of the New Covenant Christian Faith Church Ministries, 5427 Murkison Road, and I am proud to be a member of Wake Up.
Welcome back. Welcome back. You're tuning in to Pwc Connections on WIDU Radio. I'm one half of the duo, Lamont Henson, being joined by Miss Sharon Carvin. In our first segment, we talked about the upcoming PwC Expo on March 27th. And in this segment, we're going to talk about a topic that has definitely gotten some eyebrow raises, has brought in some interest. And we don't want to take for granted that everyone is aware of what's going on. So if you don't know, at the end of February, our commission voted following a public hearing to adjust electric rates and fees. Following public comment, the board voted to adopt new rates and fees over a 2-year period. The updated electric rates will apply to bills that are going to be sent out on May 1st of this year. It's an increase, and it's an increase that's going to help our revenue by 5.5% over the next 2 years. So you'll see an increase starting this May 1st, and then the following May 1st of 2027, there will be an additional increase. No one wants to hear about something increasing, an additional cost or paying more. However, I don't know if everyone's paying attention to our society and our environment, but it seems like the cost of everything is going up, especially at the gas station and in the grocery store. So we're no different. It's also impacted us. It's really just the cost of doing business has increased. I don't know if people are aware, but Fayetteville PwC is a public municipal utility, which means that we are owned by the city. We are not a co-op or one that is focused on trying to increase money for stockholders or shareholders of that nature. So this is money that is going to go back into city infrastructure and just making sure that we can continue to provide reliable services throughout, especially electric service. A lot of people, they want safe, reliable electric service, but there is a cost that comes with that. And sometimes I've heard feedback of, is it really reliable? Now, there are moments where you may lose service for 10 minutes or let's say even 30 minutes. But ultimately, when you go into your home and hit that switch, if you have PwC service, you're counting for it to come on and work. That is true reliability. I've used the comparison that unreliable is having, let's say, a piece of furniture, a chair that you know has a weak leg or a shaky leg. When you sit in that chair, you ease into that chair because you don't know if it's going to hold you, don't know if this is the one time it's going to break. That's unreliable. PwC services are some of the most reliable, if not the most reliable in the state. Like I mentioned in the first segment, I'm sure you want your Netflix to come on and your refrigerator to work so your food doesn't spoil. And got to give a shout out to all the folks working in electric construction and electric engineering for all the work that they do to make sure that those services are provided. Sharon, you working in customer service, I'm sure you've heard some feedback a little bit as well. What are some of the things or some of the conversations that you've been a part of related to this rate increase?
So, Lamont, I think you touched on a lot of the major things as far as, no, we don't want to hear of a rate increase because we're customers ourselves, but we know it does come with the cost of being able to provide that reliable service. So we definitely, being in customer service, we get those phone calls and have to have the conversations one-on-one with customers, kind of educating them on exactly what some of our costs are in order to provide it, and then just maybe educating them like on the weekends, typically, 8 to 5, PwC is there 24/7, even on weekends too. So there's a cost with it. But again, just educating customers. If they need additional information, we can refer them also to our website so they can kind of read some additional information on the services that we provide and what it takes to provide these services on our website, of course. But again, just having a conversation and being able to share some things maybe that customers didn't realize as far as what PwC does, and sometimes unforeseen rates do increase, but we try to explain to them why and have that one-on-one conversation.
That's a great point that you stated at the beginning when you were speaking, is that a lot of us that work for PwC, we're customers as well. I've heard the myth that they believe that people that work for PwC are getting free services. Trust me, it is a myth. In fact, it is a flat out lie. We too are customers, so we also feel the effects of an increase, but we also understand that it is a part of the cost of doing business, and uncontrollable cost increases are outpacing cost services. So this is something that is just absolutely necessary. We're not running away from this. This is something that we're being as transparent as possible, hence why we were holding a public hearing so people could come forth and submit comments. It's something, it is on the forefront of our website explaining the rate adjustments and giving you more information. It's another reason why we're always pushing conservation tips and advice so people can have more control of their actual usage. It's another reason why we talk about time of use. This is something that we adopted back in 2019. This is where for 21 hours of the day, the rate is less than this 3-hour peak period. When we are, having more demand on the grid, we purchase our power from Duke Energy. They provide the surplus for us. So, and with that said, we're right now in the winter peak time, but starting April 1st, we're going to move into the summer peak time. So right now, the time that is more expensive is 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. And this is something that is going to be like that until the end of this month. Starting April 1, The time that is going to be more expensive is 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. So again, go to our website, faypwc.com. There's a whole section dedicated to time of use, giving you tips and advice, ways that you can shift your consumption and have more control about the cost that is expended. And know that this is something that is, over the past 7 years, PwC has only increased rates by 3.26%. 3%. By comparison, across the nation, there's been a rate adjustment of up to 34% since 2020. Again, it's just the cost of doing business and also the structure of the utility. So as we mentioned, we are a public municipal utility owned by the city, whereas a Duke Energy, they are trying to get more money for their stockholders. It's just a different setup, a different structure in how the utility is based. So know that this is not something that's being done to try to increase money in someone's pockets. I know sometimes we're looked at as the big bad wolf that's always trying to break into your home and take your money, but that is not the case in any stretch of the imagination. Hence why we're even on the airwaves now, what we do, trying to share conversation with listeners so that they can get more educated and so that they can go to our resources and learn more.
Definitely so, Lamont, and thank you for going back to conservation. So definitely the 3 to 6 April 1st peak hour change. I think of a lot of customers that I've heard, they've kind of got acclimated to peak time now. So they was like, oh yeah, I'm not, I'm gonna, try to keep my heat to a minimum, keep my AC to a minimum, whatever. So I think for the most part, customers are being self-conscious with, trying to keep their bills down, of course, and just having that conversation and just being aware, being self-aware that,
That's right.
The information that we're putting out there in the community of the time of use rates, and just continue to educate customers, and then customers taking their own ownership of trying to have some type of control over their monthly billing.
Absolutely. And I'd be remiss if I didn't give a nod to our leadership, Mr. Tim Bryant. He's definitely come aboard and tried to right-size the organization and charge the staff with being more intentional about our spending and our cost reduction. Hence why, take a look at the expo. Now, this is something that in the past we've done typically all day. While that has been effective in some ways, we're just going to try something new, do it during business hours as opposed to going to the 8 p.m. or into the evening time where you have workers that are now doing overtime or, working past the normal business hours. We're always trying to see how we can do things better and be more sufficient with our cost-saving measures across the whole business. I can run down a myriad or a whole list of things that are being done so that we're being more cost-conscious. And hopefully people understand it's something that's somewhat unavoidable. I've heard the feedback that consideration needs to be given to those who are on a fixed income. And trust me, consideration has been given, hence why this is being done at the lowest possible while still being able to cover actual costs.
Great information, Lamont. And I don't know if we have enough time to go into this segment part of it or not, but just speaking of the ones who may fall into financial hardships, maybe because of maybe something malfunctioning in their home or what have you, as far as with their electric, that we do have agencies out in the community to include Department of Social Service, who, if you fall within guidelines that they've set, may be able to assist you with your electric bill. So
right.
Definitely take advantage of that, if you do find yourself falling into that hardship.
Right. And that information is also available on our website. We're coming up on our next break, but please, if you want to learn more about what we talked about the rates as well as the expo and tons of other information to include conservation tips, visit faypwc.com. We're about to take a break and we'll come back. You're listening to PwC Connections on WIDU Radio.
Hello, I'm Dr. Teresa McAllister, the founder of Rafa Ministries Family Center, and you're listening to Wake Up.
President Trump is rejecting Iran's newly named supreme leader, Mojave Khamenei, calling him unacceptable and a lightweight. According to AAA, gas prices have increased by 14% in the past week. This comes as the war with Iran continues into a second week and fears of a global energy crisis rise. Rockingham County Sheriff Sam Page's lead over Senate leader Phil Berger widened over the weekend. There are still outstanding overseas and military votes in the race. Also, Western North Carolina officials are highlighting new disaster recovery funding this week as communities continue rebuilding from Helene more than a year after the storm. Governor Josh Stein was in the Cape Fear region for a stop in Wilmington, where he announced millions of dollars coming to the region for infrastructure upgrades to improve water quality. Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
I'm Peter Killeen, WIDU Radio News. A woman sought in connection with a 2023 Fayetteville homicide arrested in Columbus County last week, less than 24 hours after newly installed license plate readers first went online in Whiteville. The Whiteville Police Department announcing the arrest of 23-year-old Karana McKay, saying the newly installed reader spotted a vehicle connected to McKay a day earlier. She had been sought since January 12th when a Cumberland County grand jury indicted her as an accessory after the fact of a murder in the killing of 41-year-old Garen Webb of Fayetteville, gunned down near his apartment on Tamarack Drive in October 2023. Parents and students at E. Miller Elementary celebrating after the Cumberland County School Board reversed course on a controversial plan to shift the school from a year-round to a traditional calendar in the 2027-2028 school year. District announcing that a board committee has voted to rescind the plan to shift E. Miller Elementary from a year-round calendar to a traditional one. From WIDU Radio, I'm Peter Killeen.
The cold front that brought showers and storms on Sunday will continue to weaken throughout the day today and into Tuesday, so some brief showers can't be ruled out. Otherwise, we'll see slightly warmer temperatures today, even warmer into Tuesday and Wednesday. We start the morning with mostly cloudy skies and temperatures at around 60 with some patchy fog. Mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies this afternoon. Highs reach the mid to upper 70s or reach the low to mid 80s by Tuesday. I'm meteorologist Grant Skinner in the NCN Weather Center.
Welcome back to Pwc Connections on WIDU Radio. I'm one of the hosts today, Lamont Henson, being joined by Miss Sharon Carvin from our customer service. In our first two segments, we talked about the PwC Expo that's coming up on March 27th. Please be there. Please be there. It's totally free to the public. We also addressed the rate increase that is happening with the electric rates that's going to be applied in May 1st of this year, and then there'll be another adjustment on May 1st of next year. Learn more about both on our website, faypwc.com. Another topic that we want to talk about going into this segment is something that I hope people have heard, and this won't be the first time, but if it is, I'm glad I'm talking about it, and that is the inter-basin transfer request that has been made by the town of Pwc Varina. They are requesting to take 6 million gallons of water from the Cape Fear River each day, not each week, not each month, not for the year. Every day, they're looking to take 6 million gallons of water from the Cape Fear River and have it transferred over to the Neuse River. This is a part of some of their planning for development and their infrastructure build-up for the town of Pwc Varina. Hopefully, this is something that people would know that it would put us at a deficit, losing 6 million gallons of water a day. Unlike with our wastewater treatment process, we too take water from the Cape Fear River, but it is cleaned out and put back in. That is part of the request that we need altered. They're asking to take the water without putting it back. Of course, this is going to, have us shortchanged, maybe in the immediate as well as in the long term. So know that we're asking people to submit comment, and the deadline is coming up. April 1st is the last time that they're accepting comments from the North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality. We're asking folks to submit comment to their Division of Water Quality. A lady by the name of Miss Maya Holcomb, she's over their Division of Water Resources. The address is 512 North Salisbury Street in Raleigh, 27604. Her email address is maya.holcomb, HOLCOMB @deq.nc.gov. If you want to get that information and you didn't have time to write it down because maybe you're driving, again, this is on the forefront of our website, faypwc.com. If you want to have some questions or get some help with developing your comments, you can also contact us at info@faypwc.com. We're also working with Sustainable Sandhills so that this request can be submitted. But just know this is something that will not only affect our water quality, but over time it would impact rates as well. The machinery and things that are taking place now to provide water quality, we would have to amp them up even more to maintain that high quality water. So that's why we're urging residents, citizens of the area to please take action. Please submit comments. Let them know that you are aware that this request has been made and you're not for it, that they need to alter it. There have been some public hearings that took place in the month of December 2025. They had two here in Fayetteville. I believe there was one in Wilmington and in Raleigh. So our leadership participated. Several staff members from our water resources area also participated and submitted comment. We have video available on our website as well as more information. Don't drain our future. Stop the Cape Fear River interbasin transfer request. It's not going to only impact Fayetteville, but also those communities that are downstream of us. So please take action. Sharon, have you heard any conversation about this?
Not outside of PwC, I have not, but I think you just did a great job of sharing with the public what we need their help with. Definitely, using the information that Lamont provided as far as speaking out against it, because we have to realize what type of impact it's going to have on us as customers on a daily basis if this actually happens. So definitely help us be able to help you as far as still being able to provide you with that quality water daily that you need for you and also your family and community.
Yeah, and we're not against another town wanting to improve their development and area. We just don't want it to be at the detriment of our own area. That's why we're putting as much information out there as possible. We've been talking about this, I know, since November, strong as possible. So again, hopefully this isn't the first time you've heard about it, but I can understand there are so many who are just concerned with their day-to-day, maintaining their household, working, income, groceries, things of that nature. So sometimes issues such as this may kind of breeze by you, go over your head, or you have the feeling, well, I don't, what can I do? Little old me. You can do a lot. Your voice, submitting those comments, it can make a great impact. The comparison of one finger pointing this way or that way may not do much, but when all fingers come together, you form a mighty fist, and you can make a mighty impact. So there's still time. Again, the deadline is April 1st coming up of this year. Please feel free to submit some type of comment letting them know that you're aware and that you're against this request. And PwC, as well as Sustainable Sandhills, is working together so that we can help you formulate your comments. There's a petition going around. We need as much of a loud voice as we can form from the community, letting them know that this is something that can absolutely not happen. We're also prepared to take legal action if need be, but hopefully they will hear the comments submitted and the actions that have been taken at the public hearings and elsewhere and make an adjustment and know that they can still have the development of their area without them actually taking 6 million gallons of water from our river. There are other means, however, they would be more costly. And in this type of environment in our society, people are trying to do things as low on the cost end as possible, but you got to think about your fellow man. This is also something hopefully you're bringing up to some of the candidates running for elected office. I'm definitely not going to go down the pathway of trying to talk politics, but just know this is political season. So ask where your city council as well as the county commissioners stand when it comes to this. So far, they've been in support. We've gone to several of their meetings as well. And this is something that if you bring it up to them, they'll know that it's important to the citizens.
And just to share, Lamont, maybe if you could backtrack on the email address again, because, again, if you want more information or you need more information in order to be able to, put in your concerns prior to April 1st, definitely PwC is here to help you with that.
I'll give you an easy one first. So if you are listening to this and you can't quite remember the lady's name, or I'm saying too many letters, just know info@faypwc.com. Say that you heard about this on the PwC Connections radio show and you want to get more information. You can also go to our website, faypwc.com. It is on the forefront. It is the very first thing on our website. It's that important. Or if you are sitting somewhere and you have a pen and paper and have a chance to write down the email address, it is maya.holcomb@deq.nc.gov. Spell Maya, Maya, Holcomb, HOLCOMB. She has, I'm sure, received some comments, and she's replying to comments as well. So we want to make as much of a mighty voice as we can and let them know that this request cannot take place. My engineer just told me we got that time to take our last break, so we're going to do that and come back and give some reminders about what's going on with Fayetteville PwC. Thanks for tuning in so far. We really do appreciate it. You're listening to PwC Connections on WIDU Radio.
Bless the Lord. I'm Dr. Auntie Newell, pastor of the Soul Harvest Apostolic Church, the church not just there in the community, but there for the community of Spring Lake, North Carolina. We're looking for more than a few good men and women to join the team. Iron sharpeneth iron. We may have what you need. You may have what we need. Catch the vision. Join the team. Join Wake Up.
If you pay your city or town for electricity, you live in a public power community. Public power communities provide electricity to families and businesses from a locally owned and operated system. Public power systems are not-for-profit and provide electricity at affordable rates with unbeaten reliability. Your local public power provider invests in your community, providing local jobs and supporting your local economy. Electricities of North Carolina is the energy behind public power. Learn more at electricities.com.
Hi, I'm Cherie Sample Hughes, Chair for Women in Government. February is Rare Liver Disease Month. If you're feeling unusually tired, struggling with brain fog, or dealing with persistent itching or body pain, it may be due to liver disease. Fortunately, liver disease is diagnosed with the use of simple blood tests and can help be managed with the right care plan. Talk with your doctor about getting screened and the best steps for treatment. With the right care and support, there's a path forward. Find more at womeningovernment.org.
This is Pastor Steve McMillan of the New Life Covenant Fellowship, 362 Neville Street in your God bless city of Fayetteville. You're listening to Wake Up.
This is Pastor Neil of the New Covenant Christian Faith Church Ministries, 5427 Murkison Road, and I am proud to be a member of Wake Up.
Welcome back. You're listening to PwC Connections on WIDU Radio. Hopefully you're just not getting here. Hopefully you got here at the top of the hour, but we've been giving information about what's happening with PwC. We've talked about the electric rate. I know everybody wants to hear about that. We've got to try to give you some background on that, as well as talked about our upcoming PwC Power and Water Conservation Expo. It's going to be held on the 4th Friday of March. That's March 27th at the North Regional Public Library. That's located at 855 MacArthur Road. It's going to be held from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's completely free. the theme of this one. So unlike the ones in the past where we've kind of covered all our services and we've had HR there, we've had procurement there, we will have some customer service reps there, but this one is going to be focused on water quality and our award-winning exceptional water services. And I mean it, award-winning. For those who don't know, PwC recently received the AWWA Partnership for Safe Drinking Water Directors Award. This has been won for the 25th consecutive time. So that's a quarter of a century this award has been received. It's not something that every water utility receives. You have to meet and exceed standards in order to even be eligible. And for us to not only be eligible, but to receive the award for 25 straight years definitely deserves a shout out and a little tip of the cap to all those who work in water resources. Not only that award, but we also won the Gold Award for Exceptional Utility Performance by the Association of Metropolitan Water Agencies. That was an award that was received at the end of 2025. Also at the end of 2025, we won the North Carolina Water One Award for Water Distribution System of the Year. We were the overall winner. And we also won the award for Wastewater Collection System of the Year for the Large System Award. So we don't just state that we're award-winning services. We have the awards to actually show and prove. I want to also remind people, if you want to stay connected with PwC, of course, visit our website, faypwc.com. Continue to tune in to We Do Radio for our monthly segment. Here, we appreciate having the platform, but also know that you can sign up for our electronic newsletter. You can stay abreast with what's going on with the hometown utility and do it in a convenient way. So we're thrilled to offer this. It comes to your email. So all you got to do is just sign up, go to our website and get more information. You can do it today and do it in a sustainable way. We used to offer a newsletter that was sent out in the monthly bill, but trying to be more cost conscious as well as thinking about the environment. We're trying to do it, move into the 21st century and offer it in an electronic way. So know that you can stay abreast like that. And our customer service is always available. This is one of the rare companies that you can still dial in and get a live person on the phone. So know that you can call at 910-483-1382. Anything buzzing in customer service, or what are some of the things that you're constantly hearing in your area, Sharon?
Great, Lamont. So just to educate customers, definitely we talked about the rates earlier. We do want to stress the importance of customers' e-bill, saving time, getting the bills in your hands quicker. So maybe you can go ahead and pay it and get it out the way. But definitely if you have not taken advantage of e-bill, definitely know that that is a service that PwC continues to provide. Something else, we know in the world that we're living in, we do have possible scams out there, or customers who potentially get scam phone calls or persons coming to their home. So definitely know that if you see something, definitely say something. There is a form that you can fill out online at faypwc.com. If you something dire emergency and you don't have time to go to the website, definitely again give us a call, 910-483-1382, Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And we can definitely get that information from you and move forward with it.
Yeah. What about the various ways to pay? I know sometimes people assume that the only way they can get through, we have an older community that may not always be abreast of electronics. Fortunately, we have so many different ways that you can stay connected to PwC and manage your bill. Talk about that if you would. Yes,
definitely. Great thought, Lamont. So definitely, as far as paying your bills, of course, you can mail in your bills. You can pay through Western Union. We have automatic bank draft. You can also sign into our online account manager, set up your account and pay that way as well. For those who, love interacting with our CSRs, our payment
and why
center.
Wouldn't they?
Of course, but our payment center at 955 Old Wilmington Road is still available
The kiosks.
And there, let's say if you come afterwards, maybe, we close at 5:30 and you get there at 5:35, we're already closed. We do have a 24-hour self-service kiosk that you're able to pay it as well, real-time payment. So there's not, if you come on at 6 o'clock on Friday afternoon, the payment's going to automatically post to your account when that transaction is complete. So definitely we do have various options as far as being able to pay.
Yeah. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention this. It is with a heavy heart that we bring to you this episode. It's been advertised over the airwaves, but one of the owners of the WIDU station recently transitioned, Miss Sandy Cookman. I've been working with WIDU almost 8-9 years since I've started with PwC. She has definitely welcomed the organization and welcomed me personally as being a part of doing Pwc Connections. I bring much sadness to even have to discuss this over the airwaves. Our thoughts, prayers, and love definitely go out to Mr. Wes Cookman. He too has been so gracious to us in so many different ways. So our thoughts are definitely with him, and it's something that I thought about coming in this morning, that I wouldn't see her. Thought about the last time that I did see her. And I just urge, so often working with PwC, we hear complaints, people being disgruntled. I just urge people to know that time is short. And when you get up each day thinking about what you're going to contribute to your community, your environment, your society, instead of what you feel may be owed to you. So often, I think we're shifting towards a place of entitlement and thinking that something is owed to us. Instead of providing solutions, we're constantly complaining about what is wrong when there are so many things that are right. Even with us at PwC, we service hundreds of thousands of customers, and it's the ones where we hear the gripes that we give the attention to. But we do hear people that give us some praise and positive feedback, and they're grateful for what PwC is doing, not only service-wise, but for the overall community. We partner with so many nonprofits, from the United Way to Fayetteville Urban Ministry. We try to give great information to help people control their costs. So just think about being a positive light in your community, and think about the sunshine as opposed to the rain. And hopefully we've done Ms. Cookman some justice, and hopefully Wes will continue to have us on this platform. We're going to continue to shower him with love during this time and, through the rest of his journey, because it's a major loss, not only for him, but for the whole community.
Okay, definitely so, Lamont. So my condolences to the WIDU family, and also to Mr. Cookman as well. And just to touch upon what you're saying as far as customers not only looking at maybe just the rates increasing, but just being that, saying a kind word, to your fellow coworkers or your community, and just giving back to the community. So definitely we're here at PwC here to help in case you have any questions. But again, just saying a kind word to even a stranger in the store.
That's right. So, and stay safe.
Yes.
So often, this is something that we're coming up on Work Zone Safety Month. April is Work Zone Safety Month. We've had some situations that have occurred within our organization, but just in driving throughout the community, so often I see people making erratic moves or delayed moves, and it's typically because they're looking at their phone or they're distracted in some way. So not to try to finger wag or preach from a pulpit, but I would say stay alert, stay vigilant. Don't become a zombie to your phone or to a device or be distracted. Always stay alert and know that you don't want an accident to occur, something fatal, and then you want to make the changes. Make the changes now while you have the time to do so. We appreciate everyone that has tuned into this show, Pwc Connections. We try to offer it in a positive and insightful format each time we come up here. It's the second Monday of the month. The next time we're going to be up here will be Monday, April 13th. I think we're going to probably primarily focus on the time change for time of use. As mentioned earlier in this episode, coming up on April 1st, we're going to be shifting from winter peak hours into the summer peak hours. So the time where you can save Well, the time that you want to avoid, when it's the on-peak time, will be 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. So the other 21 hours of the day is when the rate is 35% less. Know that you can get more tips and information on how to shift your consumption on FAYPWC.com. Sharon, that's going to be your go-to episode, because I know you talk so much about customer service and ways that you can help customers. So I'll be the co-host for that one. How you feel about that?
Oh, sounds good.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I got to be Scotty. Sometimes you got to be MJ. I can appreciate that, and I definitely appreciate this platform again. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the Cookman family. Thank you for everyone for listening to today's episode. Thank you to our engineer for helping guide us along and helping us get through. And I want to definitely send a shout out to all my co-workers and colleagues at Fayetteville PwC, as well as our leadership, Mr. Tim Bryant. And I would be remiss if I didn't shout out my former officer, Miss Carolyn Justice Henson. So often I run into situations in my day-to-day work environment now where I can definitely say she has set me up for success, to include even being the host of this show. When I originally came aboard, she was the one who was hosting, and she has just been such a pillar in this community and helped me get introduced to some of the nonprofit partnerships that we have, and as well as just being prepared. We had to pivot today. Say, for example, we had something totally different planned for today's episode, but because I've had to stay on my feet and know how to, change at the shift, I want to say thank you to her as well as my current leadership. So thank you, Sharon, for being my co-host as always. And Sharon's getting ready to retire on us, y'all. I don't know if y'all know that, but she's getting ready to, go into the next chapter of life. So while she's here, I'm totally grateful to her. And thank you to all our listeners. Thank you to the We Do station. We will see you next time here on PwC Connections. Thank you for listening.